In New York State, which of the following is not a valid reason for revocation of a notary public's commission? Now, before we determine from these four choices which is not a valid reason, let's ensure we understand when it is a valid reason for revocation. So if we look at the professional conduct section of the Notary Public License Law, it states that the Secretary of State may suspend or remove from office, which for our purposes means revoking the notary's commission, for misconduct. In other words, when the notary does or does not do something that they are required to do under the law, their commission may be revoked. So with that in mind, let's look at these four choices to determine our solution. Choice A states, the notary uses an unauthorized electronic notarization platform. If you look at section 182.10 of the Notary Public License Law, and specifically subsection B, it states that no commissioned notary public may perform electronic notarial acts until they have registered the capability to notarize electronically on a form prescribed by the Secretary of State, including, in addition to any other information, the following information. And subsection 4 states, here's the important part, from a vendor who meets the requirements of this part. In other words, the notary public must use an authorized electronic notarization platform for electronic notarizations. In choice A, the notary did not do so, therefore ran afoul of the law, and therefore this would be an instance where the notary's commission may be revoked, and because of that, choice A is not our solution. Choice B states, the notary fails to register a change of address with the Secretary of State. Now, if you look at section 182.3, requirements for notaries, specifically subsection 8, it makes it clear that within 5 days after a change of address, among other things, the notary public must inform the Secretary of State. So looking back at choice B, because the notary failed to do so, that would be grounds for revocation of the commission, and therefore choice B is not our solution. Choice C states, the notary notarizes documents using a signature stamp without personal presence due to illness. Now, in the professional conduct section of the Notary Public License Law, it makes it clear that the practice of taking acknowledgments and affidavits over the telephone or otherwise without the actual personal appearance of the individual making the acknowledgment or affidavit before the officiating notary is illegal. So looking at choice C, when the notary did not appear, whether it's due to illness or otherwise, this is illegal, and therefore it would be grounds to revoke the notary's commission, and choice C is not our solution. So by process of elimination, we know that choice D is our solution. But let's have a closer look just to be sure. Choice D states the notary performs a notarization for a family member in a transaction where the notary has no beneficial interest. If we look at section 182.3, requirements for notaries of the Notary Public License Law, subsection A states that all notaries public who wish to perform notarial acts in New York State must, subsection 5, disqualify themselves from performing notarial acts for transactions in which the notary is a party or directly and pecuniarily, i.e. financially, interested in the transaction. In choice D, it makes it clear that the notary has no beneficial interest, and therefore, even though it's a family member, the fact is that because the notary has no beneficial interest, the notary has done nothing wrong. Therefore, this would not be a valid reason for revocation of the notary's commission. And therefore, choice D, the notary performs a notarization for family member in a transaction where the notary has no beneficial interest, is our solution.